to Hopeless Optimistic Intuitive Tarot. I have been getting a couple of messages today, um, just that like things aren't what they, as advertised, I guess. Um, what is like bait and switch kind of thing. Um, and I just want to dive in a little bit deeper and see what we can find out about what came in that wasn't as advertised. Um, and, the energy is still like a little bit hinky from yesterday. So I would say like it's still charged for sure, but also like there's a little bit of trepidation, but I feel like this bait and switch kind of energy might give us a little bit of insight into what TF is going on, right? All right, so we're cleansing our space. Um, yeah, it's just what a wild, wild little time that we're in. So, just for kicks and giggles, because I love how cheeky this deck is. We're going to get a little bit of advice to start off with from our dear, dear, dear Rebel deck. Um, but yeah, so it's like, what's going on? Why were people purposefully being dishonest, or was it something that you know things can shift without knowing? But it does feel like there's a little bit of a bait and switch. And with this guy, we're going to just do like this. So bait and switch. What is going on with this bait and switch? What is going on? What is not being told? This one wanted to pop out. It says they broke your heart. Fuck them. Um, that is a pretty big bait and switch. Like I love you, but I'm gonna be really not gentle with you because I don't know any better or whatever. But this doesn't feel like a love thing. This feels a little different. Oh, there we go. Don't talk to anyone. Don't look at anyone. You need some fucking alone time right now. And you know why. Because you feel like you've been duped. All right. And that could also play into love. I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, not as advertised. We're going to start with the Priestess of the Light Oracle. See if we can get a little more information about what is going on with this bait and switch. Oop. Immediately, what came out is brilliant beliefs, luminous life force, personal power. That is you, clearly. Um, you can see the forest for the trees. You are wise in whatever your estimation is of this situation. Wow, a lot came out. I'm going to just look at it for kicks and giggles. Healing the heart, divine feminine, grateful optimism, hostilities, conflict, unrest, sacred action, and deep emotions, all very good. But I don't necessarily know that they have anything specific to do with what we're asking about for this bait and switch. Ooh, deep emotions. That came out again. Unknown feelings, past life influences. So you've lived through something like this before. You've done it. I mean, like, honestly, like you can smell the falsehood. So you don't necessarily know why you know it, but you know it. Maybe it didn't happen in this lifetime. Maybe it's like a cellular response to something that happened in the past. And then sacred action again, which is interesting. So decisive focus, like so, you know, and precognition. So you know. If it smells like a fish, it's a fish. If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's duck. If it's a bait and switch, you better believe and trust in yourself that you know that it's a bait and switch. And sometimes you just gotta not say a flippin' word to anybody because, like, it's wasted breath. So trust in your own intuition and your precognition, your psychic abilities, your vision of the future, because you have knowledge of what's going on. Let's see. I haven't used this deck in a minute. This is the Mystical Moments deck, and I have not used it in a minute. But let's see what we can get more information about your brilliant beliefs, what you know, your luminous life force, and your personal power. The things that you inherently know to be true without having specific, um, what is the word, confirmation from anything other than your intuition, which is spot on, mind you. All right, tell me about your brilliant beliefs and what you know to be true here. Nine of Swords. So you have been in a position where the eyes have been on you and you are, um, in this place of sort of potential hurt. You're hurting. And the reverse judgment, like, and you've used poor judgment in the past. So your brilliant beliefs come from the fact that you've been harmed and you know that you have trusted in places that shouldn't be trusted in the past. So trust in yourself. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah. Reverse Queen of Cups on your deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences, and then Page of Pentacles. So, you know, you're operating from a place of lack and like the again, this is like relating to things that you've experienced in the past. So like you have been in that place of lack. You've been in a place where you were not appreciated and loved and given the honest to goodness truth about things. And you are ready to start really making something grow. You want to water your garden, my love. You want to feed it with all of the best nutrition. This is where your deep emotions are. Your brilliant beliefs, your deep emotions. Brilliant beliefs are so because you've felt this before and you know what this feels like. You know what it feels like. And in the past, you've felt that lack, and where you are right now is like, I don't want to be in that space. And I don't blame you. And so your sacred action, Five of Swords and King of Swords. Okay. Underneath all of this is the moon. So you know that there is some deception, that some things are going to come to the surface, that some things are going to come to light. But this is what your precognition tells you. You know this. Everything is going to come, like, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck, right? So your action is Five of Swords. It's a little bit about shadow work. It's about um, being in a space of not maybe seeing the whole picture, but um, knowing that you stand in this truth. There's a bunch of knowledge here. Um, Again, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So if you think that there is a bait and switch, there is a bait and switch. They were not 100% honest with you. And King of Swords takes no prisoners, cuts straight to the quick. So there's no point in pussyfooting around something when you know for a fact that you have not been given the full picture and they have not necessarily been 100% honest with you. You know this. You know that there has been some deception. And then what's crazy is underneath that again is King of Swords. You know. Two Kings of Swords from the same deck. You know. And you are usually a person who just kind of is in a place of wanting to give and wanting to work with people. So it's, not asking you to be anything other than who you are. And at this moment in time, you see the bullshit and you want to cut right through it. Can't blame you, because there's nothing worse than like being like sold a bill of goods and it not being like what you expected. I just got this whole thing in my head is like I ordered a chicken coop last year on wish.com and like the way that they described it and the size was not what came in the box. Looked huge. And for the money from wish.com, it probably should have been. Amen to that. That means it's the truth. So like let's see what kind of guidance can we get to help us on this journey where we know what we've seen, we know where we've been, we see the situation for what it is, and what can we do to navigate this moment in time. I'm actually going to do one of these just because I had a feeling. Okay. 7 of Wands. So yes, defend what matters. Defend what matters. And flipped over in this deck, and I always set them right, again, is the Lovers. So I think that this is really about the choice for yourself. Defend what matters and choose what's right for yourself. And here we have, dun, 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 reverse 7 of Swords, 10 of Wands, and 4 of Cups. So you know what matters to you. We've got a couple of sevens here, which is interesting too. There has been some deception. It's reverse, but you can see through the bullshit. Don't think about it too much. Don't think about it too much. And don't let it burden you, because it's really not your burden. This is their burden that they're trying to put on you, and leave it behind. Leave it behind. Like, get on your happy little bird and fly the fuck away. Like, seriously. I want to get just one little bit of guidance from the hags to see if they have any additional guidance on this. At the very bottom of this deck also is death. So transformation. Some things just aren't meant to be, and that's okay. We are adaptable. We have plenty of options out there. Sometimes messed up things happen just so we can be put to the test. And like, you have got a really strong, underlying psychic ability that is telling you what is going on. Bait and switches aren't fun. You want to believe that people are going to be honest with you. I want to believe that people are going to be honest. I've always like set people up to be like, when I first meet them, give them the benefit of the doubt, give everyone a level playing field, and then trust is built from there. But you can only be trusted if you're trustworthy. And if you have said one thing and then delivered something else, well, you kind of go back down below the baseline, don't you? Okay, so fairy pool baptism is renewal. So this is about, hey, let's just start fresh. Maybe just one more. Oh, maybe two more. Season of the Cauldron Keeper. So this is about like the long game. And then the full moon walk is about initiation. So like this is saying this bait and switch is a test. This bait and switch is a test. You don't have to talk to anybody about it. What's the point? The point is that you see it for what it is. You are going to use this opportunity to be like, oh, so now I know. You know now, better knowing now than knowing later. Like how many times in your life have you seen the red flags and ignored them? I know I've seen them a lot and I was just like, "Oh no, it's fine." No, it's not. You deserve better. You deserve better. So be prepared to get renewed. This is going to be a slow boil. It's like a long game. Like you need to just say, okay, what is the next best step? And it's initiating you to of um, a higher level of existence, vibration. You are stepping, as we've seen over the course of the last couple of days, you're going to step through the threshold. You are on the brink of something miraculous. And why would you allow yourself to be swallowed whole by something that is so deceptive so early on? Bait and switch. Okay? I'm sending you nothing but love and light. You've got this. Renew yourself. Keep an eye on the long game because you are about to be initiated into something so much grander. Namaste.